Mark Stevens from the PGA Academy here. We have a client who's come in just reasonably new to golf and wanting to be a bit more consistent with their ball striking. What this was mainly about were two things: fundamentals, setting up to the ball, which we'll show you in a moment, and also swing concepts. So this client came in talking about being really inconsistent with their contact. If we look at that left video, wide stance, which made it really hard to turn the body, particularly through the hips. The ball position, a little less obvious, but it's closer to the front foot, so the ball was too far forward in the stance for an iron. And if you have a look at the angle of the shaft there, it's slightly leaning away from the target. If we look at the video on the right, you'll see a narrower stance to facilitate a better hip turn. Ball is positioned closer to the center of the stance, and there's a lean on the shaft towards the target. Before we hit balls, we were talking about how does the club strike the ball. We need to strike it with a descending blow, as in the club's traveling downwards as he hits it, almost feeling like he was squashing or driving the ball into the ground. So back to the first video, even with that concept, a correct concept, the fundamentals made it very difficult. So as we move through here, the club just swings back. There's not a lot of movement going on through the hips, so it's just a bit of a hand and arm sort of a hit or swipe at the ball. If we move across to the second video, we're really just going to compare the difference in the finishing positions, but a little harder to see. There's a whole lot more movement going on through the midsection there, so more hip turn there. We're not talking about making a perfect golf swing here, we're just trying to get the ball going up in the air and being somewhat consistent. So there's a nice transfer of weight or hip rotation in the backswing, and then the move back to the ball, the opposite happens, turning, transferring the weight, and you can see with the ball strike there, ball's going well in the air as the club is still staying down. If we move forward to the follow through position, all the weight on the left foot, a really full hip rotation, and what looks to be a much more effortless swing.